Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. Well, it's a double review today, and it's potentially the first, and I say potentially because you know me, when I say I'm going to do a themed week, starts off okay, but then just descends into a trail of shit. Sort of like my channel and also my life. But yes, this could be the start of Brew by Numbers week. And this was all triggered when I picked up a one of the lockdown boxes that they were doing. Well, this was the first one that they did, which was all pale beers, IPAs and pales. I know since then they've released one more, which was a bit more of a mixed variety pack. And so yeah, I've already had a few of the beers because there were 6 different beers and you got 4 cans of each. Some I've gifted to others. And yeah, I think I've just about got enough to do reviews of each can. So we're doing these in numerical order, and yeah, it is what it is. If it pans out, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Have no expectations when you come to my channel, really. So today we're having a look at 2 cans of number 5, which is the IPA. Both 6.2%, obviously. So they'd have the same ingredients. Let's see, but they've got slightly differing descriptions. So I'm surmising that they'll have the same malt and yeast and recipe. It's just the hops have been swapped out. So we've got number 5 on this side, which is the Citra and Mosaic. Well, Simcoe, I should say. And then the one in the yellow is the Nelson Sauvin. One of my least favourite hops, but I'm yet to be educated. So I'll quickly read you the description on the back of the Citra and Simcoe. This New England style IPA was brewed with a hefty addition of new season Citra and Simcoe, 2 classic American hops. The resulting beer is a full-on tropical trip with expressive notes of soft peach, juicy apricot, and a vibrant citrus aroma. A generous oat addition adds body, creating a soft and well-rounded beer that is bursting with juicy flavours. So sounds really nice. And then this one, Nelson Sauvin. This is a single hop IPA stacked with one of our favourite hops, Nelson Sauvin. This expressive and unique New England hop delivers wave upon wave of fresh gooseberries, ripe lychee, and a refined white grape profile. A liberal addition of oats helps build a soft and balanced body, creating beer that is full-bodied and juicy. I do like the typography that they've used for the number 5s on these ones. A nice image. And I don't think I gave them enough credit when I was doing my sort of like best of 2020 list. I think I gave my best bottle shop to, or web shop, to Untappd, but Brew by Numbers. This is the second box that I've got from them. They do really good boxes, mixed cases, and especially with what's going on, it's a good way to, like for me, to actually properly get into the brewery. So, for the Nelson Sauvin, we're going to be using the Daya glass. And for the Citra and Simcoe, we're going to be using the Untappd 2020 Harvest glass, because they're really the only 2 same glasses that I have. The rest are like tumblers and stuff, which I don't really want to do. So, without any further ado, let's get this open. Well, let's get them both open and see what we get. I'm going to pour a little bit into each one. Straight away, Nelson Sauvin. A really big boost of aroma coming through. Boost of aroma? Burst, not boost. And then we'll open the Citra and Simcoe one. Only going to pour a little bit in each glass first, just so I can get my nose in. So, in terms of the appearance, there's not much in it, to be honest. Let's see. I would say that the Nelson Sauvin looks a tiny bit murkier, but it doesn't, does it really? Or are they pretty much identical in terms of their appearance? I think pretty much spot on. Both look like peach juice. Hazy as hell, nothing getting through it. Obviously, slight differences in the way I've poured them, but both of them have a white head. This has just got a sort of like a lacing. You can't really see too much because of the artwork on the glass. Whereas this has got a little bit more of head to it, but very, very similar. In fact, yeah, looking at them here, both identical in terms of their appearance. So we'll do the single hop first. So this is Nelson Sauvin, a hop that I'm trying to get around. Do you know what I mean? I've had some really good examples of it, but then some like really classic examples of using a hop. I don't like those flavor profiles, tastes, whatever. So we'll see what we get. So on the nose, and yeah, you get grape musk. Definitely get a tanginess, passion fruit. There is gooseberry and lychee. You don't get lychee a lot now. Yeah, it's got a real mustiness to it, but a nice vibrant sweetness. It smells really good. Definitely. A little bit of peach coming through as well. So smelling nice. And then we'll smell the Citra Simcoe. This one's got maybe a little bit more vibrancy to it, but it's not as aromatic as the Nelson. Obviously from that Citra, you're getting loads of citrusiness. Freshly squeezed lemon. With a little bit of... It's got that ever so subtle classic Simcoe cat pee aroma. But yeah, a little bit more tropical, a little bit more juicier and sweeter. But not by much, it has to be said. I think out of the two... This to me smells a little bit nicer. I mean, this is still a really good smelling IPA, don't get me wrong, but Citra's one of my all-time favourite hops. It was the hop that got me into hoppy beers, essentially, so I'll always have a soft, citrusy spot for the Citra, and it's used beautifully. And it's balanced nicely by the characteristics you get from Simcoe, like that slight tanginess. And that ever so slight cat litter. Isn't it strange how you think of cat litter when you smell a hop? Anyway, I've never drank cat piss, so I can't say if it tastes like that. If you have, let me know in the comments. Yeah, anyway, so we'll give the Nelson a taste first. Cheers, folks. Yeah, straight away, before the beer's even like finished, you get that drying, brute-like grape flavour coming through. Gentle bitterness though, at first, but you do get more of like a residual drying bitterness right in the back end. It's definitely got a little bit of tang to it. Passion fruit. And then it said it on the label, but what's it called? I forgot the name of the fruit. It's a prickly fruit. Gooseberry. No, it's not. Gooseberries aren't prickly, are they? I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit more clawing on the palate. But it's got a nice level of fruitiness to it. There's an ever so slight melon character coming through. And it has got a nice vibrancy. It's just, to me, it's the aftertaste and the final, like, third of the beer that I'm just not a big fan of. But that, to me, is a really nice utilisation of Nelson Sauvin. Or Sauvin. Not sure how it's properly pronounced. But it's not going to win me over to loving that hop. To say it's tolerable is it's doing the beer an injustice, because it's a lovely tasting IPA. It really, really is, but it's the end that I'm just not a big fan of. And usually when you get a bit dried out after tasting a sip, it makes you want to go get another one. But to me, it's sort of like when I have Belgian beers. There's flavour profiles and yeasty esters in Belgian beers that just don't sit right with me. Although I've had some of the world's best beers are brewed in Belgium. I do appreciate that, but they're just not for me. And I get a very similar sort of sensation drinking this. In fact, it's just very clawing on the palate. And it dulls the shine of a nice IPA. It's got a nice body, upper medium mouthfeel. It's sort of like creamy and rich, as you're probably led to believe from reading the can. But I'm not going to complain. It's got bags full of body to it, considering that. So I think I've just completely contradicted my own self with that sentence. But oh well. Anyway, let's see what we get with the Citra Simcoe. Cheers. This is just definitely a little bit more softer. It's a lot more rounded. It's got a nice sweetness to it. You get loads of peach. You get loads of pineapple. The juice that you get from a tin of fruit salad. That sort of thing. I mean, they're two completely different beers because of the way the hops have been used. I mean, this is just a single hop beer anyway. And this is, it's two different hops with a sort of different take. Body is pretty much, it's the same. It's got that same texture. This somehow feels a little bit softer, and I think that's because the finish isn't as abrasive as the Nelson Sauvin. It's a nice sweetness. It's a little bit of bitterness on the back end, which is always welcome. And to me, it's just a much more satisfying drinking experience. I did something that I didn't want to do, and I kind of went into this review knowing that I'm probably going to like the Citra and Simcoe a fair bit more than the Nelson Sauvin, due to my own sort of like hop biases and tastes. But what I would say is both IPAs are really well brewed. If you like that drying out, ever so slightly brutish sort of IPA, then the Nelson Sauvin is going to do you well. It's still a tasty, tasty beer. But it's the classics with your Citra and your Simcoe that just edges it for me. To the point where the hops almost change the feel and the texture of the beer. Even though a hop's a hop. Do you know what I mean? It's softer, smoother, sweeter. There's a little bit more of that familiarity to it, which to me is never really a good or a bad thing. So I don't know why I brought it up. But yeah, I think you knew it anyway before, when I started this video. People who've been watching my channel for a while. This to me it's the best out of the two. Although what I will say in this one's defense, I like the single hop effect of the Nelson Sauvin much more in this than I did that Vocation one. Now, the finish on that was very abrasive compared to this, which some people might really love and fawn over. That's the beauty of, you know, life, really. Not everyone has to like the same sort of thing. Not everyone has to like Donald Trump. Not everyone has to like Joe Biden. Some people would think that they're both useless arseholes, but then you've got to look closer to home, haven't you? Anyway, that's my political statement for the video. Yeah, this is just, to me, it's a bit more of a joy to drink. Not that this is a chore or anything like that. I think I've got, because I think I've palmed off 2 cans of that already. So I've already had 1 can during the stream, which seemed to taste a little bit more sweeter, but that's probably because I had about 4 or 5 beers beforehand. So in terms of a rating then, I'm going to give the Nelson Sauvin version of Zero number 5 from Brew by Numbers 7 out of 10. I wouldn't be upset having another can of that. I'd be happy to have another can. And it's not going to stop me from trying to sort of like come to terms and get to grips and familiar with the Nelson Sauvin hop, especially in IPAs. So I'm getting a lot, even though I'm not enjoying that beer as much as this, I'm getting a lot more out of that in terms of an experience, because it's helping me formulate, you know, my own palate and things like that. And I keep realising that my sweatshirt tucks under my tits, but I'm a thick boy, so what you gonna do? And that was very camp, so just made a popping noise with my lips. When will the fucking cringe stop? I don't know. But yeah, this to me, I'm going to give that one an 8.5 out of 10. That being said, there's not much in it between the two, let's be fair. But yeah, both of them, great little beers. If you get the opportunity to try them, definitely do so. And if you have tried them or any other versions of number 5 from Brew by Numbers, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. Of course, as per usual, there will be links to Brew by Numbers social media links, as well as their web shop. Go check them out. I'm sure by the time I've uploaded this, they may still have some lockdown mixed cases. Highly recommended, especially if the price was as good as what I paid. It's like 24 beers for 56 quid when they had the retail value of like 119. Can't go wrong, just good to stock up. And I hope you'll join me over the week to look at some other beers. I don't know what number's next. Can't remember. But you'll see it when I do it. I think it might be number 10, which I think is Imperial Coffee Porter. Break it up from the rest of the hazy, pale goodness. Anyway, so if you've tried any of these beers, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. I've reviewed a few Brew by Numbers beers, so go give them a look at on the channel if you so wish. You don't have to, please. Don't feel you have to. And yeah, cheers for watching, and thank you all for stopping by. I've just said the same thing twice in 2 different ways. It is what it is at the end of the day. What are you going to do? And yeah, cheers all, and you all take care. Go subscribe to my OnlyFans, which has got no content on it as of this point, but hey ho, it is what it is.